Hello and welcome to the promo for Always Digging. My name is Jeff Skull, aka DJ Scully Funk. Every Sunday afternoon, my partner Gary, aka DJ Gaza Taylor, and I choose a theme and play our favorite songs that fit that theme. Tune in right here every Sunday from noon to 2 on iLive Radio.
Every Friday, take a trip around the world with music from around the globe. Colors of Rhythm with your host DJ Ron John. Fridays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on iLive Radio, iliveradio.com.
Hey, what's going on, everybody in Seven Spades? This is The Groove Show with your boy, the crowd pleaser, DJ Mark Anthony. Don't forget, each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m., we want to put you in the mood for whatever the night has in store. I'm playing only the best feel-good, party rocking, body-shaking music from funk to soul to reggae to R&B, house to salsa, and much, much more. We call it The Groove each and every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Keep it locked. It's the crowd pleaser, baby. You know how we do. We'll see you on the air. Peace.
Attention all musicians, bands, associations, clubs, and organizations that represent collective styles of music across Canada. Now is the time to rebuild our collective music nation genres like hip-hop, R&B, jazz, soul, reggae, gospel, and more united. The Collective Music Nation is a non-profit organization committed to the development of collective music. Free memberships are available now. The Collective Music Nation. One voice, strength in unity.
The Omar Legacy Drop Party, celebrating Omar's first ever NFT release. Join us on Clubhouse for a 24-hour event featuring guest DJs and speakers. This all takes place on Wednesday the 14th of July, 2021. Subscribe to iLive Music on Clubhouse or go to www.ilivennft.com. iLive NFT. Changing the way you drop art.
My baby says she's leaving me, but now she has to go. You can cut the tension in the air, and she don't want that no more.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
The number one hit music station.
What took you so long, so long? What took you so long, so long? What took you so long, so long? What took you so long, so long?
Good evening. Welcome to this edition of the Sound Table. It's been a minute. It's been a while, actually. It's been a couple of weeks, Patrick?
It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, been a couple of very busy weeks. Hold on, let me just take down this music. Been a very busy couple of weeks for us, with the Omar launch of the Omar NFT. Still recovering from that. Patrick was physically wounded from that whole experience.
I was physically wounded. I have my voice back, so,
Well, just about. I'm not going to tell you to talk too much tonight.
No, I'm not going to talk too much.
And so this is good. The sound table's going to be a bit up and down over the next few weeks. I've got an actual honeymoon to take. I'm actually going to go away for a honeymoon next week.
As you should.
As I should. I would deserve it. And then after that, it is like project work, man. I'm zipping across the country doing project work. So anytime I can sneak in a sound table, I'll sneak in a sound table. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
I should really get an alternative host for the sound table so we get some continuity in this thing.
That's true. That might be a good idea.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
I wonder who would do it. I've been trying to get Gwendolyn Collins to do it for a while, but she's being Gwendolyn Collins, isn't it?
She's a diva. Come on now. She's an artist.
You're gonna get me started so early. It's too early. It's too early in the day.
All right, man. All right.
Anyway, so today's sound table, I was actually contemplating what I was going to talk about today. I had a few things on my mind, but this one we're going to talk about, I think, is a really important subject. And don't forget, you can catch us on all the platforms. You can catch us on www. I should say saying www.
Yes, you don't need to say it anymore.
iLiveToronto.com. If you want to catch the audio, you can catch us on over on the YouTube. And tune in and mobile apps and wherever else you can hear us, across the World Wide Web. But this one is actually something that was posted by Simon Soul Gigs, and he's talking about, he did a comparison to the three kings. You know, the three kings in the football thing, right? The three black guys that missed the penalty.
Oh,
all
yes,
the racist abuse they got.
Everybody was all.
He kind of started off with that kind of statement, and then he started moving it towards music and radio, and something called radio pluggers. All right. So the way radio pluggers work is like this. I'm an artist. Mm-hmm. I want to get my music out, right? There's a network of radio stations or audiences I want to capture. What the radio plugger does is that he connects your music to the radio stations that connect to those audiences.
All right, so they're like your promoter.
Yeah, kind of, yes. They plug your music with station managers, program managers to get it onto rotation on a radio station. And you pay the radio plugger to do that.
Okay.
All right. That's their job, right? You pay them about a bunch of money and they go and they plug your music, right? And from that, you hope to get interviews and sales and, exposure, all that kind of stuff. You're paying for distribution.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool. And one of the...
So it's kind of like a pay for play thing.
In a way. It's not quite that, but I get what you mean, and I'll tell you why I say that is because, there's relationships between the pluggers, and the stations, and the station managers.
Okay, all right,
right,
okay,
or the pluggers and the DJs. We look at internet radio stations. Various ways they do it. Right, there's usually relationships, and sometimes the plugger is the station manager, or the plugger is the station. It gets a little messy, right? It can get that way.
It can. Okay.
Which is a challenge for a number of them, right? A number of artists and pluggers, and so in all intents and purposes, the process is how can I say it? It's good if it's done right. It's great if it's done right, all right. And if you've got a really good plugger who is really in the network somewhere, and has got a good base of people that respect what he sends to them, or they send to them, or the woman, or they, whoever it is, sends to them.
Yeah.
You can get your music played, and you can get some feedback from that and get popular. But in the UK, and we're talking about the UK because I can't speak for anywhere else, but we can actually extend the conversation to Canada as well, because I think it's a similar thing, but a very different kind of dynamic. In the UK, it's been an age-old problem, all right, where black music, and we're talking about black soul music, has been, how can we say, controlled by people that don't look like us. And when I say controlled...
That's a strong word.
Okay, all right. So in the context of this plugin, radio stations, charts, etc., right? Mm-hmm. You can go back to the days of what we used to call the soul mafia, right? There were a group of white guys who used to live in Essex that, took black soul music and created a whole scene from it, right? Which very few black people in it. Okay. Right? And I don't want to make this about black and white, but this is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. And I think the point Simon was making was that, he was contacted by an artist who will not be named, who asked him for his email details to send him some music. And, he said, well, you've got a plugger. And the artist responded and said, well, I've been told that I have to go to black DJs directly because the plugger's not promoting it to black DJs, even though it's black music. All right. So there's a wider context to it. And like I said, it's an age-old problem. And I don't know if there's a resolution to it until you take control of that whole narrative, right? In terms of when it comes to distribution to radio. And there are a couple of organizations that have done that. There is an organization, hold on, why is this not started? Just realized this hasn't started.
On YouTube? Or?
Oh, on
going out live?
Oh, sugar. Yes. Am I supposed to be on at 6 or 7?
6 o'clock.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You see, I've got 7 plugged in there.
Oh.
Good Lord, I've been talking all this time.
I've been talking all this time.
And I've goddamn not even started a damn broadcast. There you go, on audio. There you go.
There you go.
Right, I'm now broadcasting audio.
All right.
So
if you're just joining us right now,
if you're just joining us right now,
iLiveRadio.com.
We are.
Or through the iLive app. Jason kind of screwed up a little bit there.
I screwed up a bit.
All right.
Yeah, you're right. Don't call me out like that on my show. It's not cool. So just a kind of a recap for those people that might have missed the beginning of this soliloquy. We're talking about radio, black music, and radio pluggers, and the disparity or the apparent disparity between distribution to black DJs and distribution to white DJs who appear to control that particular facet of music distribution. Artists are being told, or artists appear to be told, that the distribution is primarily to white DJs, and white DJs will give it the support. Like I said, I think a DJ is a DJ is a DJ. If you play soul music, you play soul music.
Yeah.
But if there's an undue bias, call it out, right? So shouts out to Simon Soul Gigs for calling it out. So let's talk a little bit first before I get into the whole UK thing. Let's talk a little bit about Canada and black music and black music distribution.
Is there such a thing?
Oh, see, here you go. Is there such a thing? Sure there is. There's pluggers that plug black music. And once again, it depends on the type of music that you determine to be black music, right?
This is true.
A lot of that music that the younger people have does get distributed pretty widely to various entities across Canada. Mm-hmm. And this is where I guess the disconnect happens when, you of the older generation don't really dig what the younger generation is doing, but the younger generation is actually flourishing in Canada right now, representation-wise.
Yeah.
The Junos kind of pointed that out. The existence of the block on CBC Radio. They've even got, G987 started like a jazz soul show.
Yeah.
Which I found interesting.
It's about time.
Yeah. Keisha Wint was on there. In fact, she interviewed on there before she interviewed on our station. We'll stop playing her ads.
Leave Keisha alone, man.
Whatever, man. Anyway, so if anybody's out there that wants to listen in, wants to weigh in on the situation, if you're over on Facebook, you can go. And on my page, my personal page, you'll see the Zoom link if you want to join us by Zoom. If you want to call me directly, I can hook up my phone to the Bluetooth and you can come in live if you've got me on WhatsApp. Yeah, it's a testy subject. I have opinions and people won't like my opinions.
I'm sure that you have opinions. You usually do.
Yeah, we're not even asking you any questions here. What's your opinion, Jason?
Oh, what are your opinions, Jason?
Okay, so all right, fine. So let me start with my opinions. Like I said, this is not a new issue in the UK. This is a very old issue, and it's a very old issue we always complain about. Now, in this traditional DJ distribution and record pool perspective, we were good. Mm-hmm. We were in with the distributors. There's a couple of distributors like Mr. East Ender. You used to go get your joints from, right? Like, or you go to Red Records or you go wherever, right? You had a good network of record shops and we was always in the know. Radio was always a little different, but we come from pirate radio. So a lot of those pirate radio DJs, their network was a record shop.
Yeah.
Or get promos, right? To get play new stuff. With the advent of radio, and especially the advent of internet radio, now the problem that they saw as a problem that's always been there is now really a problem for them, because now distribution is from artists directly to pluggers directly to radio stations. Unless you know the artist directly, it sends it directly to you. Right? So now you're starting to highlight it because, you know, you're no longer having to go to record stores to pick up records. And that was your network, and that's where you found out about stuff and promos and stuff that was coming out.
Yeah.
Now artists are going the usual route. They've always gone through radio pluggers to these people that had radio stations, and now you're getting in on that action, and now there's disparity.
Yeah.
Right. So you have disparity. So do something about it. Anybody that's on that thread, why don't you just start up your own? Why don't you just start up your own radio plugin service?
Makes total sense.
Yeah, Simon's doing it. He's doing like his own promotions of artists, and I'm sure he's going to start distributing to other DJs as well within his list. We do it. You know, we've been doing it for Canadian artists. We've been doing it for best part of 2 years. Yeah, finding Canadian music that we release, music that other people release, and ask us to promote. We'll put it into our list of, you know, DJs that fall within the remit of the music that is coming out in Canada.
Yeah.
So once again, don't complain, do it yourself. And if you do it yourself, make it make it an actual service. Make it something that the artists actually believe in. Like, you shouldn't be doing this stuff for free. Technically,
yes.
You shouldn't be doing it for free. You should be paid for it, because it actually takes time to do.
It's a service you're
offering, right? But the flip side is, you know, a requirement of a lot of these services is that you require feedback. Where did they chart? How many times did you play them? What was the responses? How are you marketing it? Like, all that piece of information is vital for the plugger, and it's also vital for the artist to understand how their music is being presented and being relayed, and what that feedback loop looks like. Yeah. Like, you know, that's very important for an artist, because part of the plugger service should be, here's the money you gave me, here's a bunch of stats to say this is how well your song's done based on how good of a service I gave you.
Yeah.
All right. So what it tends to look like over in the UK is artist plays a plugger hits his station, his guy in his station manager, you know what I mean, whatever exchange is happening, whether that's financial exchange, whatever it is, you know, payola, whatever you want to call it, yeah? Suddenly that song gets into a chart. I said, oh, look, your song got into a chart. That means I did a good job. Hey, right. That's how it appears to work.
Okay.
But is that true though? Are they really charting? I mean, there's people that create charts and they say, well, you know, the chart is based on this and this and this. Okay, fine. But do they really chart? You know, what about how many times are they played? How many DJs are playing their stuff? Like, are your DJs playlisted and mandated to play it? Right? Depends on that structure of your radio station.
Is it on rotation?
Is it on rotation in your autopilot? How many times a day is it on rotation? Like, these other metrics, you know, are things that are going to be useful for the artist. Because at the end of the day, they're flying blind and hoping that, you know, the buzz from the radio station and their sudden ascendancy in some chart is going to lead to two things: sales and shows.
Yep.
You know, notoriety doesn't mean anything in an environment that moves so quickly.
Might have a lot of notoriety, but if you can't eat, that can't help you.
This is true. Your voice is really struggling. I have to turn up your microphone because you're like, you're like 30% of what you usually are. There you go. That's why.
Let me put this closer.
There you go. Okay. That much better. Yeah. So I find it like an interesting thread that's going on, and there's a couple of comments I'd like to read out. I want to read out what Gwendolyn Collins said. Her wonderful thing. Shout out to Gwendolyn, because Gwendolyn doesn't use pluggers.
Okay.
She never has.
Oh.
She goes, I don't know this was happening because I've never used a plugger. But this is ridiculous that you not only do they believe that they have the power to make and break us, but artists are believing it also. I've done so many posts about charts and charts this and charts that, and not many artists will respond, and I get it. But it's a damn shame if folks are paying to be on charts that are misrepresented and that potentially lead nowhere, because it's sure ain't like it sure ain't like it used to be. Now, I would definitely pay for some marketing or public relations assistance, but I'm not so much to distribute my music to a list that will probably mostly, I can't even read, but not so much to distribute my music to a list that I probably mostly have. All right, so she's saying she's got most people on the list anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I can definitely assist with a list of anyone who wants to take it on. Artists, don't get ripped off. Connect with people who truly want to see you achieve. Build relationships, put on a good show. Use all these digital tools to get yourself out there. Shame on anyone who is holding music back based on race or solely wanting new music for them first. I could go on and on and on and on and on.
You know, you can make your font bigger, right?
Make what?
Make your font bigger on your phone.
Can?
Yeah.
On my iPhone?
You do that. Get some glasses.
Yeah, but it's an iPhone. I can't do it on an iPhone. Shut up. I can't do it on an iPhone. But yeah, it's an interesting. I won't say it's interesting. It's the same frigging thing we say all the time here at iLive. Yeah, deaf ears is deaf ears is deaf ears.
Yeah. The challenge is that a lot of people are not willing to do the work. So if you're not getting the representation, if you're not getting people who are going to, if you're not, the pluggers are not going to necessarily do it for you, then why not do it for yourself?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, shouts out to our girl Taylor. I gotta get my glasses, man. This is horrible. Shout out to our girl Taylor, big supporter of the sound table. She always jumps on and shares a post. She says, this all means nothing. Charts are good for marketing. Totally agree. Round of applause for that, Gertha. Then we'll give her a little. Give her one of them. But it does nothing for the artist's bottom line. It's useless. And she's right. Like, the chart does nothing. There's no definitive measure of success by making it into a chart other than the perception by some tastemakers that it's relevant for that week.
Yes.
That make sense?
Yes.
All right. So to Gwendolyn's point, it's really about self-investment. You have a bunch of tools. You don't need a plugger. You can go direct to source if you need to. And only mess with people that mess with you. But what does that even mean? People who mess with you means what? That's a question.
Oh, okay. Well, people that are going to support you. People that...
What does that mean?
So, I think it's something that we've always said. So, we work with a plethora of different artists. And some of them come in and their attitude is just about what they can take. It's about, it's really all, it's all, we know how this works, right?
Yeah,
it's all about what's in it for them.
Yes.
As opposed to the collective growth of what it is that we're all trying to do.
Right.
So if you've got an artist that comes in and you can clearly see that it's all about them, and what's in it for them as opposed to what's in it for the whole, then you might want to have second thoughts about continuing to work with those individuals, unless you're hiring them for something specific that they're bringing to the table. But on a long-term basis, that they're not going to be there when you kind of need them. They're not going to be really supporting you the way that you're going to be supporting them, because...
Are you talking about the reciprocal model?
Yes.
That exists?
You don't think it exists?
Please.
Wow, we're real cynical tonight.
I'm really cynical. Maybe since I got married, I've got more cynical.
Yes, and you've had a rough couple of days.
And I've had a really rough couple of days. Like you caught me on the rough end of some work stuff that really put me in a mindset of like I don't give two monkeys right now. But yeah, no, I mean the reciprocal model does work if both parties believe that there's something in it for both.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a case of being charitable all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, no.
It's not a case of, you know, giving, and then people taking.
Yeah.
Because, you know, our remit is not to give. Our remit is to grow. You know, so if giving means growth, I'm good for it. If giving means you're just gonna take and then we wither because of the sheer amount of effort of you taking, then you know, go take a run and jump as far as I'm concerned. And we've had to do it. I've had to do it. I've had to do it personally with eyes that, you know, we're done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're done. Like,
to pull the plug a couple times.
Pull the plug. Yeah, pull the plug.
And even when they come back with their hat in their hand.
Like, no. Now it's about what's in it for me.
Well,
yeah, or what's in it for us.
If you already demonstrate what you're about, then
yeah, you know, leopard can't change its spots.
Exactly,
it's what it is. But back to the whole idea of distribution to black DJs. So, you know, I could talk from beer experience because I personally run the radio plug-in aspect of our radio station, and distributing music either from our label or from Canadian artists to distribute to my people in the UK and Europe and the States, right? States people I've never had a problem with, right? Always very professional, always very good in terms of the rules of engagement when it comes to me sending the music. The UK, I'm gonna say this and I don't care if anyone gets upset. 90% of my list are black DJs.
How much?
90%.
How much feedback do you get?
90% of the feedback I get, about 80% of the feedback I get are from the non-black DJs. And one of the requirements of staying on the list is very simple. I'm giving you music, you give me feedback. Because that feedback we build into reports that we give to the artist and say, hey, this is what people thought of your music. These are the comments they left and your score. And we talk about what they can do differently and they take that feedback and they make changes. That's the purpose and point of why we do radio plugin, right? It's not just I'm going to distribute to a radio station and they're going to tell me how many times they play it. I don't ask how many times they play it. The only thing I ask is this going to make your playlist in the next 2 weeks? Are you going to play this in the next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yes or no? I don't say how many times you want to play it. I'm not interested. I'm a radio station.
Yeah.
Right? We're a radio station. So, you know, we're going to play it regardless. But as a service to the artist, I think it's very, very important that feedback is almost essential to help the artist grow, right? Or at least give them a feedback loop to say, hey, this is my honest opinion on the music that you just sent. Like it or hate it.
Yeah.
All right. Simple thing. Takes you 2 minutes to fill in. Yet the only people that respond, and one of them is on the screen right now, which is Jarrell.
Yeah.
He's one of 2 black DJs that will respond every single time. The other people that respond, that respond to it are all white DJs.
So Jarrell, since you're listening, maybe you can put up a little note as to why it is that you provide the feedback. Why do you think the others don't provide the feedback, Jay? Or have you gotten any feedback from them as to why they're not providing the feedback?
Listen, I don't want to start calling people out.
No, I'm not asking you to call out names.
No, I'll call out names. I don't give 2 shits.
I'm not asking you to call out names.
But I don't care. I will do it though.
I know you'll do it because you're British.
I'm not
asking you to do that.
I'm in that mood.
I know you're in that mood. But what do you think the challenge is?
There's no challenge.
Yeah?
It is, I've got the music now, I'm just going to go play it. and that's it. Ignore the rest. Because it's not about supporting the artist, or it's not about providing feedback that's going to be useful for an artist. It's about, I've now got what I want and I got it before anybody else.
So it's about breaking it first.
It's not even about breaking it first, it's about having it. Do you understand? You're not breaking it first, because if I'm giving you an iLive Music exclusive promo, I've already broken it. I've already played it.
Yeah.
Right? But, you're not going to be the first ones to play it, and everyone gets it at the same time. So everyone's going to be the first one to play it. But what it does is that I've got it now. So it's just adding to their treasure trove of music that they say they've got. You understand?
I got you.
Right? Just to say, I have it.
They have it.
I have it, and, I've got it, and I don't need to give you any feedback. And if you don't send me anything going forward, I don't care, because I get my music from everywhere else anyway. Yeah? But the interesting thing is, especially when an artist gets a little popular, let's take Jusso, for example, right? Jusso just did an interview with Breaking Artists that should be on Instagram right now. Shouts out to Jusso, shouts out to Taxman for doing the interview. And Jusso's our artist. The moment Jusso started getting a little buzz, then all of a sudden now I'm getting harassed by certain DJs in the UK start harassing her about sending them music directly. And she says, no, go to sessions and he'll put you on the list.
Yeah.
I will get harassed on you need to send me this track. Okay, but you're already on the list. I didn't see it. I'll send you it again. Could you please fill in this form? When you've got it, I want your feedback. Crickets. So I'm like, strike them. So I struck off the list. So my list has shrunk down.
Yeah.
Significantly now. So there's only certain DJs I will send it to, because, and unfortunately, now my 90% of black DJs is now shrunk down to like 30% of black DJs, right? And 70% white DJs, because they're the only ones that provide me the feedback that's required.
So do you think this is the reason as to why it is that a lot of the plug-in
radio
pluggers, the radio pluggers, don't go to the black DJs?
That's a very good question. Like, is it because the radio pluggers feel they can't partner with the black DJs? Is it because the requirements of the radio plugger are not met by the black DJs? Well, okay, so let's ask this question then. How many black-owned and black-run radio stations, organized radio stations, do we have within the scene that we are all in? 2, maybe. Now, black-owned and black-run.
You're talking about here in Canada?
No. I'm talking about in the UK, not in Canada. There's only one in Canada, that's us. Right? But in the UK, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Maybe Raw Soul, but they're more, they don't invoke a playlist system per se. Everyone kind of goes in and plays what they want to play. There's no, you have to play this song and you have to plug this song, from what I understand. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about Flow Radio either. I'm not sure if there's a overreaching playlist that every DJ has to touch certain songs on their set, because that's what really works, right?
Yeah.
If you've got a soul music radio station that specializes in soul music, why aren't you saying this song needs to be played on everybody's show has to have this song on it, or these sets of songs on their show? That's just traditional radio, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sure Solar Radio does, and I'm sure Starpoint does, which, maybe the structure of the black radio stations and the black DJs on the radio stations doesn't lend itself well to radio plug-in. Maybe that's the issue. That's an interesting question. Maybe that's the issue.
That might be the issue.
Maybe.
But then even on those same stations, they may not be black owned. But how many of the DJs, or how many of the people who are getting the music, how many of them are black? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, okay. So I'll take something like Choice FM. right? So if I take something like Choice FM, a lot of the new music came through the station controller programmer, who was at the time was Jigs, and Jigs used to create the playlist.
Okay.
So you have your show, that you had your what's what I'm looking for? You had your kind of stuff you wanted to play that was yours.
Yeah.
And then there's certain songs you had to play because it comes with the system, right?
Yeah.
Interesting comment, Jarrell. I'll address that in a second. So there was that continuity, right? So, you know, if you're taking over a certain show in a certain time slot, there's certain songs you had to play.
Yeah.
If you had a specialist show, then it's a specialist show, right? So that is one way where radio pluggers used to hit stations like them, because it's an organized process for getting their music distributed and trackable and traceable.
Yeah.
Right? They'll put them into a playlist. Those playlists will have metrics and reports they can pull out to say how many times that song was played, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there's a few online platforms that do that. So direct to source, direct to DJs playlisting is more like record pool distribution. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's not really radio, not really radio plug-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a difference between the two. Like, I don't look at what I do as radio plug-in. Mine is more direct to distribution record pool process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. With feedback. Yeah. As a common courtesy. If I wanted to go to radio, I wouldn't pick any of those radio stations
Yeah.
to send my music to. I'll send it to My Soul, I'll send it to Kiss, I'll send it to all the other ones that I know have a playlist and rotation system that guarantees my music is going to be played.
Okay.
That I'm trying to plug.
Gotcha.
All right. So there's kind of like this double, not double standard, but maybe a misrepresentation of the word radio plugger. Because radio to us now is people that do internet radio. Jarrell turned around and he said that Solar and Starpoint are soul R&B jukebox stations. Yeah. As they should be. Why wouldn't they be soul and R&B jukebox stations?
When you say jukebox station, what do you mean?
Jukebox is something that plays in rotation, right? Play the same music.
Oh, okay.
And there's a certain cycle of music.
Just a circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's exactly what radio is supposed to be. I think we've gotten away from the fact that everything has to be a specialist show. This is the problem with radio, right? Especially internet radio. Everything has to be a specialist show. Everything has to be its own entity within the radio station.
Yeah.
Then why call it a radio station?
Yeah.
Because you're doing the part which is considered to be the specialist out of your core hours stuff, right? When we at iLive do radio, we have a playlist and an A, B, and C rotation that runs when we're not live, and when we're live, those are the specialist shows.
Yeah.
So we're a hybrid, right? But then you have, and I'm sure Elijah in Raw Soul does a very similar thing. He aligns his with Amazon, and he has to do with Amazon, and opportunity to play music, and it's linked that way, right? That's more traditional, right? That's more of a traditional model. But I'm still trying to work out what Jarrell means by Solar and Starpoint are soul R&B jukebox stations. In other words, what is he saying? You saying that they don't know how to play soul music? Or are you casting aspersions on the type of soul music that they play? Or are you saying that it's kind of like, well, you play true, we as black people play the true soul music stuff, and these white people don't, these white-owned stations don't understand true soul music? Like I'm a little bemused by that statement, Jarrell. Something I'd like to explore at some point, but I'm sure no one has the balls to talk about it.
Maybe he'll define what he meant a little bit more.
And this is where broad statements, when you start to dig below the surface, it's good and it's great from the top. But when you start to dig down, start to ask the real questions, like, okay, well, what do you mean? Is it really a radio plugin? If that's the case, then, and DJs on Solar aren't getting the song, or DJs on Raw Soul or Flow or whoever's not getting the music, or they're not on the list, That's record pool distribution. That's not radio plugin. It's just not in the traditional way, and even in the new way, it's really not.
So what's the solution?
I don't know if there's a solution. I think as to Gwendolyn's point, who you partner with. So if you partner with a radio DJ that plays your music all the time on a station, and that station's popular, great. You partner with a radio station and get a radio station to get their DJs to play that music all the time. Great. You know, artists can do that directly. You don't need a plugger. Oh, he means that they remind me of a more soulful Capital Gold. In other words, he's saying they're commercial soul music radio station of the type of soul music that's considered to be lightweight and not soul music.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
I guess they're not rubbing off wallpaper and banging down wall and and doing two-step. It's not soul music.
It's
Jarrell, I'm sorry, man. This is your turn today. I'm having a bad week. But yeah.
I've been to some events, some soul music events, wherein you have a black, really soulful artist doing that's supposed to do their thing, and the audience that they're performing for is not really people of color, and so the level of soulfulness that they would normally express.
You're talking about Sean Jones and Soul in the City.
Why you?
That's what you're talking about, aren't you?
That's not what I'm talking about.
You're not talking about Sean Jones. You're not. You're not talking about Castloma. Yes, you are. Stop fronting. Yes, you are. Yes, Castloma was a classic example, right? Of, and we're going to kind of outside the subject of radio plugin, but we're just talking about black music in general, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Castloma is a classic example, right? Of plagiarization of soul music, watered down to please people who don't really understand soul music, but it's cool to go to Castloma, dress up, pay a lot of money for seats to watch a guy do covers of Marvin Gaye.
So maybe it's the same sort of thing that he's talking about when he's talking about the type of music that they're playing, being more commercialized.
Yeah, but what's commercialized? Like, I struggle with that concept because to me, good music is good music. I don't really care. Yeah, do I have a preference? Sure, right. But when I recognize good music is good music is good music. Like, I don't think Solar plays bad soul music. I don't think, Starpoint plays bad soul music.
I'm not so sure. I don't know what his context is because I've never listened to any of those radio stations.
You should,
but I'm not so sure it's that they play bad soul music.
It's commercial. Well, okay. We put bad in inverted commas.
Okay.
It's kind of soul music that I'm not really into if I want to go play out.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not play out soul music.
Okay.
You're going to a rave and hear them things.
Yeah.
I guess that's where the disconnect happens, right? Where, sometimes people take and attribute radio to, I play it in the club, I play it in the radio.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way. To me, it doesn't work that way. And I know there's other people that agree with me, and I'm sure Jarrell's the same. Like, there's certain tune you'll only play on radio, and certain tune you'll play inside of a club. I get it. But in terms of the style and ilk, guaranteed there's a connection between the two. You understand? Guaranteed there's always a connection.
Yeah.
Somewhere, right? So yeah, like I said, I don't knock what Starpoint and Solar Radio do. I think they've got some very knowledgeable DJs and very passionate about what they do. They invest their money and invest their time to build an organization that's been sustainable for a number of years. Like, you don't knock that, right? And they represent soul music at a certain level. And a lot of them are given a lot of these American artists opportunities to do to come here and perform at large events and actually make money and actually present them correctly. You understand?
Yeah.
All right? I want to take Simon Solgigs off the table because he's like a promoter elite. But I have seen some travesties, right, of great artists performing in banqueting suites with DJs behind them playing backing tracks. Wheel and come again when they hear tune. Like, what the hell is that? Yeah? Like it's a PA. You know, I get really upset when I talk about presentation of music, right? Like, you know this already.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He says they play, Joe added more. He says they play Festival Weekend of Soul. Okay, Joe.
Take a deep breath, Jason.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
I remember the days when I could go into a party in East London, Styling Media, Funkadelic, Public Enemy in the mix. I remember when I could go into these parties. I'll hear everything from Public Enemy and NWA to Dennis Brown and everything in between. Yeah? I remember when the big James Brown explosion happened and I would go to, you know, when I was a box boy and I was DJing with Stylie, playing Meisha and Max across the tracks and Jackson Sisters and some of that music from that scene that was blowing up in the King's Cross, North London area with, you know, Family Function, Shake and Finger Pop, you know, Soul to Soul. All those DJs were playing Patrick Forge. All those DJs were playing like great goddamn music. The WAG Club, the Raw Club. Anyone used to go to the Raw Club, you know. And let's be straight, like the first big weekenders that used to happen in England weren't black people's East weekenders. It was white people who was doing them. Blackpool, K-Star. Do you understand? We have got to a point of narrowing down and distilling the kind of music we consider to be good. And then when we get here, now we're here, we do our own weekenders, like Great Yarmouth or Haviland Island, or wherever it's called. Yarmouth or wherever they're going to go. One Butlins thing. DJ sound systems go down there, and what do? All they do is bust tune. They were busting a house party. Saying the same nonsense or playing the same rubbish. The energy and creativity and the sheer love of music has gone out of the music business, man. And I'm saying that to all the goddamn DJs that do it too. So hats off to all you black artists that send your music to a plugger to get played on proper radio. Because you ain't getting nowhere with the rest of them. Did I say that out loud?
It's that kind of day, eh?
It's that kind of week. I am not the one this week. I really wish someone had called in and tried to just turn around and tell me something else, Mike. I want to tell them about themselves.
Really?
Straight. Oh, yeah. Tell them, come test me today. Oh. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, you know, we joke a lot about that kind of stuff, and I am joking for the most part. But, you know, I get annoyed by that. I really do get annoyed by that concept. It really kind of drives me a bit crazy when I hear Festival Weekend of Soul. Like, it's like...
So to just sort of touch back onto something that you said earlier. So you said you had your list of DJs that you forward things to, and your list is getting smaller as you're not getting that feedback from the DJs. Have you ever the ones that you did drop off of your list? Have you had a conversation with them?
Yes.
To try to figure out where the disconnect is?
Yes.
So what was the feedback that you received?
Nothing.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'll send them email, say, hey, so is there a reason why you can't provide feedback on this? Like, you know, what's the problem? Is it you haven't got time? Zero. Nothing. Nada.
Are you asking it nicely? Because I know sometimes.
Yeah.
I
I'm
know
not
sometimes-
the nicest person in the world sometimes, I know, but no, I am. Like, I'm very professional when it comes to the radio plugger thing. Or should I say music distribution thing.
Is there value to having them play the music even though you're not getting the feedback? Is there value in it for the artist in some way?
So the perceived value for the artist is going to be this, right? Once again, I'm going to say this. People ain't going to like it. Okay. I'm going to take my artist, Jusso. Right? Jusso featured in one chart, and one chart only, over her 9 releases. Yet, her biggest numbers she's done is everything but that first release. Amazon, iTunes, Bandcamp, biggest numbers she's done. Yet has not featured in the chart since. So no, there's no goddamn value, to be honest. There's none. There's none. It's a personal taste and personal choice scenario when it comes to charting and promoting of particular types of music. It is, I don't know whether it's because we play in the same sandpit as they do, hence they're not seen as discovering it, but we're a bloody black label. We're a black record label releasing black artists and black owned. You would have thought that at the very least, you'll give it a good old shine. You know, I know Jarrell plays the music. I know several of the DJs play Jusso tracks on a particular radio station, Global Soul. Yet, I don't see Jusso in any of the Global Soul charts. And I know her numbers are good.
So the charts are not about numbers.
It's never been about numbers. It's always been about personal taste, and it's me and I'm breaking it, and it's my chart, and we want to be the dominant chart of relevance. Don't tell me about your Amazon numbers. That's crap. If you're gonna go based on plays by radio, I actually went through a 1 week of listening to radio and took one of the methods that Franklin Sinclair uses for his chart. I heard Jusso played umpteen times by umpteen DJs.
Yeah.
And the same DJs he's canvassing to say how many times they're playing this track. Like, okay, cool, this DJ comes in once a week. They play it once. What are you canvassing? To justify chart position. Yeah? Our artist, Jusso, is now on the Spotify Canadian R&B list.
Yeah.
She's been on it for the last month. And to get on the Canadian R&B list for Spotify is a big achievement, right? Because it's a very hard list for those tastemakers to pick it up and love your stuff so much that they're willing to put it on there.
Yeah.
That means there's plays, and lots of plays. Oh, there's not enough plays to justify getting on it. Shut up, man.
So it's not about plays.
It's not about plays. Bullshit.
And so it's about whoever controls that chart.
It's about
what?
it's about the narrative. It's about certain DJs playing certain tune. It's about sheep mentality. It's about follow fashion. And every side of the racial divide has tastemaker issues. Facts. So I'm not going to sit here and act like we're the victims. We are also the protagonists. Facts. I'm not saying there's not disparity. I'm just saying our hands are bloody too.
So the plugins.
Pluggers.
Sorry, the pluggers. I keep calling them plugins. So the pluggers. Without the pluggers, how difficult is it for the artists?
Gwendolyn Collins says she's never used her plugger, and she's done fine. You don't need pluggers.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't need pluggers. Algertha, this is exactly what I mean. Algertha remembers when I said this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Said, Jay, you suggested a few years ago that DJs, particularly black DJs, create an organized collective to promote the music. Are they even interested in doing that? No, they're not. I tried it, Algertha. I even created a group and a Dropbox to drop the new music in.
And it wasn't used.
Oh, I'm the only person that's dropping new music in. That they're not interested. They're not interested because it's not about.
So they were willing.
collective,
They were
it's
willing
about
to take.
themselves.
They were willing
they'll
to take
take it.
music, but they weren't willing to share.
One DJ said to me, I played a particular track by the Glenn Lewis and Jazzy Jeff track.
Yeah.
Right? Played that. Boom. I was feeling in a good mood that day. I said, you know what? I feel in a good mood. Anyone wants this, let me know. Now, I'll give it to people that I know rock with us and don't. DJ comes out the blue. Yeah, you think I can have a copy of that then? Like you never said boo to a goose. You never said boo to a goose before. I see you in London, you know who I am, and you walk right past and don't say a word. And it's only later, because you see certain people talking to me, he comes, oh yeah, sessions, yeah. Like, shut up, man. You was begging me for music the week before, or 2 weeks before that. Man, stop it nice. Anyway, yeah, so...
Sounds like there's a lot of ego involved in this.
Oh my God. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Shouts out to our girlfriend. You're right, said that's part of the issue. 100% part of the issue is the egos of DJs and people not wanting to come together to collaborate. We saw it with Soulfest Lounge UK. We did it with the Soulfest Lounge UK. Bring all the radio stations together that we could, including Solar Radio. There was no prejudice there. Get everybody in a room. Let's put on something together. Boom. What now? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nada. You know what I said to Gwendolyn? Our girlfriend, what I said to Gwendolyn was this, because she was complaining about the same thing. I said, you know what you need to do, Gwenny? You need to set up your own music service for the artists that you support, because she's like the godmother of all them people there. Set up your own one, right? And set up your own chart. How about that? Set up your own chart. Set up your own charting system. See what happens. See what happens. And when Gwenny came onto iLive as a DJ, the amount of pushback she got, why are you going over there? Why don't you come over here? Blah, blah. You know why Gwenny wouldn't go to any of you lot? Because Gwenny understood that we put our money where our mouth is and we're about supporting artists, and we will bring artists and we will showcase artists and we'll give them opportunities, and don't give them lip service other than the fact that you want to turn around and say you got Gwendolyn Collins in your frigging radio station. Anyway.
So we got 2 minutes left.
Oh, we do? That's too long.
Well, how about we end this on a positive note?
Okay, say something positive.
Wow. It's not my show, you know.
All right, I'll say something positive. I won't be here next week. Is that positive enough for you?
Wow.
Nah, it's all good. Now, these are important topics to have. And
no, they are. It's good to have the dialogue in regards to this, because they're all things that impact the artist. And at the end of the day, it is all about the artist.
1 second, Patrick.
Yeah.
Did Jarrell just say UK Soul Chart has no UK Soul?
Wow.
All right, we're about to take this for an extra 15 minutes right now. That statement there has really set the cat amongst the pigeons. All right, I'm gonna say this about UK Soul Chart and UK Soul. When did you guys actually support UK Soul? Let's be straight. You were more interested in supporting anything that came from America. You were force-fed stuff through Choice FM, where the American artists became bigger than the UK artists, because getting people from America was a far more difficult thing to do, and now Choice was having a conduit to bring all these artists that you will play on the imports into the country, and all of a sudden the whole psyche changed, and it became about US artists. when has UK soul been relevant in the UK? I'm not talking about the Sheila Prospers, I'm not talking about the Alicia Lavernes. Like, these people have history when the UK soul was dominant. 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, maybe 93, maybe up to the cusp of 94. You know, Mary Rose's, the Jill Francis's, the Sinclairs, like doing regular shows, the Wayne Marshalls doing regular shows and charting. Then you decide to flip the script because Choice FM brainwashed you all, and all of a sudden it all became about American artists, the Jodeci's and the Boyz II Men's, and all of a sudden every other singing group that came out doing that same garbage, the intros. We became second-class citizens, right? UK Soul became a second-class citizen. And now you want to talk about UK Soul charts is not features very little UK Soul? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's our fault. We didn't nurture. We didn't grow. We didn't provide a platform that enabled UK Soul to be on the level or the equivalent of US Soul. It's now seen as a byproduct. Well, it's not. It's not a byproduct, man. UK Soul's always been cutting edge. UK Soul's always been, you know, shit. I'm not going to talk about Omar. Let's not talk about Omar. But it's always been cutting edge. Oh, now there's a little shine now with the MVs and the Children of Zeus, and let's be straight, right? Like, none of you cared about Children of Zeus. We were rocking Zeus 6 years. It's only the other day the scene got hold of Children of Zeus, and all of a sudden Children of Zeus is the shit. You still haven't picked up bubble rap. There's a bunch of UK artists that you still don't know about that's doing great things, they're doing great music, and you don't know about. You're overly obsessed with the US artists. Ask me this. People's Choice Award, the Blackout Awards, who won Best Artist? Was it a UK artist? Or did they have a separate category for UK artists? Huh? Was there a separate category for UK artists?
I don't know.
Who won it? Was it Carmichael? Was it Carmichael? You know, how did one of our greatest exports, Hill Street Soul, not win? Yeah, right. So, UK music was given a separate category
in the UK
in the
awards?
in a UK Soul Music Award.
Wow.
That tells you everything you need to know. That tells you everything you need to know.
So why wasn't there an international category since it was a UK?
Why should there be? Why should there be categories? It's soul music.
No, I understand that, but I'm just thinking if this is a UK award ceremony, if they wanted to categorize something, would it make sense to categorize what's coming out of the UK into the UK as opposed to what's in the UK? Separate. You understand what I mean? It seems backwards.
I'll say this about Donny's win at the Blackout Awards. Okay? Love Donny, that's my guy. But I liken that similar to Omar winning a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Mobos. I will leave that there. And the only reason they gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award is because he boycotted the Mobos and actually did a protest about the fact that the Mobo has no soul music, because the origins of the Mobos was representing an awards platform for artists that were underrepresented in commercial radio and commercial music.
Okay.
And black music. Kanye King. Kanye was ruined by P. Diddy. When she gave P. Diddy a mobile award, P. Diddy says, oh, I'm going to come to England. That went from Islington Design Centre to the Royal Albert Hall in one swoop. All the big radio stations started coming in and all the Radio 1 start coming in now because P. Diddy is there. The main sponsor, media sponsor or media partner of the Mobos at the time was Choice FM. They were relegated to an award sponsorship, from an event sponsorship to an award. And then it became a joke. Then it became this money-making exercise, and musical black origin, which is what the MOBO stands for, just became a farce. It became a farce to the point where Mick Hucknall from Simply Red won Best Male Soul Vocalist of the Year over Omar. Mick Ginger Hucknall for a pop album and a pop song. But because he sang soulfully, a little bit of soul music on it, he's under the category of music of black origin. Come on, man. Jamie Cullen won best, do you understand what I'm saying? Jamie goddamn Cullen won best jazz artist in the Mobos.
You sound a little bit disillusioned, Jason.
I'm not disillusioned. All I'm saying is Jarrell kicked me off with that whole UK Soul Chart doesn't have UK music in it. Well, you know what? All you UK DJs are part of the problem. You're the reason why that's the case. I have no sympathy.
No sympathy?
None. All right, we're 7 minutes. 7 minutes. And listen, Jarrell, stop telling me about Sean Kingston won Best Reggae. I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't want to hear that, man. It's the commercialization of that. So even in our own awards ceremony, there's tomfoolery. There should not be two separate awards. Why is there a UK award and a soul award? Why do you have to separate the two? We provide the platform that plays the music. Yeah? When we do our programming for Canada Hot, it's all Canadian music.
Yeah.
That gets played every day for 3 hours, nothing but Canadian content. For the most part, I try to keep the Canada Black Soul charts as Canadian as I can. A few slip in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just cool music. But for the most part, I'm searching for Canadian content.
Begging for Canadian content.
Dude. Why do you have to go there now?
But seriously.
We're over, Patrick.
We're
over.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
We're over.
I don't want to talk about the fact that we don't get music from Canadian artists.
Yeah, we're over. It's all good, man.
All right, this has been a sound table. I'm thoroughly ticked off now. You really, really just got my goat going, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate you. All right.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good, man. I ain't going to sit there and complain about it. It's the way it is. So no sound table next week. I will be doing a sound table on the 10th of August. There will be a sound table on the 17th of August, and then there will not be a sound table again until
you work it out.
I'm trying to work it out now.
Oh yeah, you got a date all?
Yeah, because the trip to the motherland is coming 31st.
If they let us in.
If they let us in. England, sort your nonsense out, please.
We're coming across the pond.
We're trying to come across the pond. Could you please just stay at home so you don't stop this stupidness that's stopping us from coming over? The Canadian invasion's coming. And for those who know anything about me and the Canadian invasion, it's not going to be pretty. Get concealer, Jarrell. You're coming for the ride.
We better get out of here, man.
You should really. If I say something now, I'm going to regret.
Exactly.
This has been the sound table. Let's finish off with a track. What track should I play? Shall we play some Canadian content?
Oh, I thought you were going to play your favorite song with Turner of the Mac.
You really trying to get on my nerves today. You really want to put me in a position where I'm going to have to hurt somebody, ain't you?
Play some Just So, man.
I'll play some Just So. We're out.
Struggling pretty, yeah. Hustling hard when you gon' get it, yeah. So much pain and suffering with it, yeah. When trouble comes, tell them come get it, yeah. You just bought a new wig, yeah. How you gon' pay for it, yeah. Paying off credit, yeah. When's it gonna